It's the final countdown. The viewers at home do not know that there's a 5-second countdown when you start going live with the filming, and so we're like, the countdown. We're just waiting. It will end. It will start. It will start. But yes.
And what episode are we on? That's something we probably should have started with. Are we episode
8?
Episode 8!
I know. It's obscene. We've been 2 months. We've been doing this for 2 months. Our little pod has been existing now, out in the world, 2-month-old.
My God.
And obviously it's been in the brain for a bit long, only a little bit longer than that.
Not that much longer, really.
Not at all. It was literally... I really like the idea of doing a podcast. Becca, what do you think? I'm away at the moment, but we can start filming in a few weeks. How about next week? Yeah, next week sounds good.
Should we just record our chats and then call it a podcast? Yeah, let's do that.
Although people are now asking for merch.
Oh,
somebody
my God.
has been in touch to ask for Sew On badges, which I'm well up for. Our little logo as a badge.
Yes.
Yes, I mean any pant brands, the pant brands for spare pants, break glass in need of pants. That's what we need.
Oh my God. That is what we need. We need just custom pants with just all of it on.
Exactly.
That'd be great. Custom pants, badges. I mean, we could just branch into swim hats. I mean, there's so many things we could do.
Bucket hats.
And also it'd be like polka dots, but with our logo.
Yeah.
This is turning into a brainstorming session.
Oh my God. The possibilities are truly endless.
Endless today. If anyone's got ideas for merch or knows some sustainable ways to do it, please get in touch.
Of course.
How are you doing anyway? You know, get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah. I mean, I won't beat around the bush. I've been quite stressed recently. I think because I have a number of things coming up. Well, I'm starting life as a freelancer, which inherently has a lot of risk associated with it. I'm not earning money. My last paycheck from my job came through, and now I'm like, right, the countdown is on until I can no longer afford to sustain myself. So there's a bit of pressure there, starting myself up as a freelancer. There's the wedding, less than 2 months now, which is like, it's great. I cannot wait to be married to Josh. It's, that is one thing that throughout this whole process I haven't been able to doubt. But honestly, I couldn't give a fuck about confetti. I'm done. There's so many things that I'm like, my family were so much like, oh, please make sure you're putting all of these things on the wedding website. They won't use it to RSVP. They're like, oh, I told your mum. Oh, I booked the hotel. Sorry. I recognise here I am going on a tangent.
No, it's not a tangent because it's how you're doing and how you're feeling and being honest. And I'm so glad confetti made the chat. That's all I'm saying.
For the people out there, rabbit food. You can get rabbit food that's just dried petals and leaves and things, and we're thinking of buying some of that because it will be biodegradable without it being super fancy £70 for 2 handfuls confetti that's biodegradable. We want proper normal biodegradable stuff without having to pay the price tag of that. So we're doing that. And also, Josh has dietary requirements, so we aren't even bothering with a cake. But even when we were looking at like a vegan one that would fit his dietary requirements, £600. It's not making the cut, man. No. It'll be June. You know what? People won't want cake. The last few weddings I've been to, I didn't eat any cake. I was too busy drinking. I was too busy being a menace. So yes. It's not needed. But yes, so I think at the moment it's just trying to fight little fires here and there and just get people sorted. And yep. So there's all of that. There's, obviously swim training coming up as well. Lots of big swims. So it's all really exciting. There's lots to be excited about, but it's just a lot at the moment. So trying to manage in the new normal and do all of that at the same time. So we will get there. The outdoors and creating content and being creative is still my outlet. So it's good. I think if it ever doesn't be that, then it's a problem and we'll have to pivot. So we will see. So yeah, not too bad at the moment. Just, yeah.
I love how you said all that and then rounded up with, well, not too bad then. Even I'm stressed. And I'm doing this and this and this, and I've quit my job, and I'm planning a wedding, and I'm...
Yeah, they are admittedly, though, very privileged problems to have.
Of course they are.
Yeah, so, you know, it is a privilege to be annoyed at the expensive wedding that I'm planning with the love of my life. You know, that is such a privilege to be able to do. So the fact that a couple of my older aunts and uncles refuse to use the wedding website and have consequently told their kids and grandkids that they too don't need to use the wedding website because they told my mum. Carol.com apparently, and by osmosis, she's been able to, you know, through the brain, being able to go, Adele knows that these people are coming and their dietary requirements.
Oh, mate.
All by magic of the brain. No, so...
Yeah, but the thing is, right, I think as well, in this day and age, I'm just calling you out because we think about these things so much and go, oh, but it is a privilege to have these things. Oh, it's a privilege and I can't feel like this. And oh, I should be thankful that I've done that. You're allowed to be stressed about it, though.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to bitch about it because, I mean, it's just
made
stressful.
a whole pod to bitch about it. You can all suffer with me, dear listener.
Yeah, dear listener. And that's the thing. It'll all, I think also the sun's out over here, so I'm just like, everything is better and it will get better.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, when the sun was on me this morning and during my swim, I wasn't even that bothered that there were more people than usual. I was just like, oh, it's just so nice and sunny. And I mean, I've got some books coming. That's books that are going to be fun reads. And I'm like, I've put the dates they're arriving in my calendar. And I'm like, I'm going to allow myself at least a half day off. Just to like I'll do a bit of work in the morning and then in the afternoon it's ice bath, it's doing a bit of dipping and reading and just being able to chill out for a bit.
Yes,
so
please.
I'm trying to deliberately find time for that because I am also doing lots of work on the weekends, so I don't really have a huge amount of time to just rest. And so if this is arriving on this date, I need to rest. I'm forcing myself to do so, which is really quite nice. It's going to be a bit more appropriate, a bit more restful. But
also, I think starting that freelance life with like a little afternoon like that once a week and just continuing it and just making it a ritual, and that's just what happens. I think that's something that I've always struggled with freelance life, actually taking time off. Yeah. So you're starting early. Let's keep that in the diary and just block it out for the end of time. And hope that the book's good.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, one of them is, like, I do love a cozy murder mystery. I don't want the blood and gore. I'm not very good with, like, thriller or horror things. I've also got, I don't know if you know the Do Book publishers who do, like, I've got Do Nourish by Sarah Bayliss, which is a really lovely... It's a really great book that really, like, all of their books are very, like, the fundamentals of certain things. One of them is Do Blue.
Ooh.
So Do Blue, it's a book all about water waves and well-being. So that will be arriving at some point soon. Ooh. But it is by Nick Hounsfield and Abby Richardson. And it's all about like surfing, swimming, fishing, and how we can't, as human beings, stay away from the water. We love it. Can't get over it. And Nick Hounsfield is the co-founder of The Wave, which is just outside Bristol, which is an artificial like surf.
Yeah.
Surf place. But yeah, so it's got, and it also, Rebecca, friend of the pod, Rebecca Wetton from Catch is mentioned in it and has contributed to the book. So that's coming out, and that's from the Do
amazing.
Book. Yeah, so that's going to be good. I also ordered one called, we're just going on a tangent. They do loads. There's like loads of different things. If you remember like the how to do something like an idiot. No, not an idiot. No.
I know what you mean.
Those books. Yes. It feels like that, but like a more modern, less derogatory way of doing it.
For dummies.
Yes. So like computers for dummies.
Yeah.
So I also ordered Do Story, which is all about how to tell your story to the world. Because I just thought it'd be quite interesting. So that's by Bobette Buster. And if that is not the coolest name...
Bobette Buster.
I know.
Literally, I've heard it once and I'm already like, I remembered that.
I don't know who Bobette Buster is, but I feel like that's the kind of name. If they aren't like a grey-haired, really cool older lady.
I'm thinking Blue Rinse. I'm like curls, maybe a bandana across the head, kicking back on a
She
rocking
does not
chair.
have grey hair. She is an older lady and she does look super cool.
Ugh.
A story consultant based in Los Angeles.
A story consultant.
Yeah.
That is
That's like the dream job. Like, hey, you want to tell stories? Consult me. No stories
Consult me.
told without my permissions.
my goodness. I mean, on the flip side, you're doing all the cozies, and I'm still reading Ronda Rousey's autobiography. Well, the first one anyway. So I mean, there's light and shade.
And how are you doing anyway, Becca? Because you've got plans later on to go to the beach.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, it is warm in the northeast today, so it felt absolutely criminal to be in the pool, because I've been to the pool already today, and it's 17.5 degrees here.
Ooh,
Practically
positively Mediterranean. Yes.
practically Mediterranean. Both me and Jim were just like, this is perfect. Like, it can stay at this temperature. It doesn't need to get any hotter. You've got a slight breeze. Anyway, I'm getting away
Yeah.
from the point. Last night, Michael was like, it's going to be warm tomorrow. Do you want to, like, before he goes running, should we go for a swim and take Bo? So that's what we're doing after his work. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I say that'll be good, but it'll be absolute chaos down there. The beach will be rammed. But
It's the first sun of the year. It is the Easter holidays. Give it 2 weeks and hopefully it will have calmed down.
oh my God, soft launch. Adele's coming northeast, and I've already planned for the
Of course.
weather.
Yeah.
2 weeks. It's just gonna be. Yeah, that's.
I'm just really hoping it doesn't go grey in the
But at the
northeast.
same time, that's the authentic northeast.
Yes, that is
well,
true.
no, it's not, because everyone thinks it's grim up north, but it's really not. It's. I would just like it to be. I mean, cloudy-ish, slightly warm, maybe a light jacket weather. Like, that's the type of thing I'm thinking. But yeah, my God, today it's just been wild already. I feel like I've done like 2 days worth in a morning. Which has been mad. I've done 2 loads of washing. I've hung it outside because obviously it's really nice.
Yes.
I was like, got to do that before the start of the day. And then once I'd done all that, it was like, get to the pool. Right. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I got to the pool, and usually me and Jim meet. So my coach Jim is absolutely incredible, and usually we meet inside the aquatic centre and then we go in together, whereas today we were meeting in the pool, like poolside. So I was like, that's good, because he's got so many people that he trains. It's just like a Rolodex in his brain. So I was meeting him in there, and the lady on reception, I don't know who she was, but she looked at me and just went, it is lane swimming, unfortunately. I was like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here
Wait,
for
what?
lane swimming. I was like, what are you insinuating?
What, did you take your lilo and your rubber ring or something? Did that throw her off?
I don't know what. I don't know what I'm not bringing to the pool. Who goes to the pool and doesn't go for lane swimming? Like, I really got in my head about that. So I was thinking about that.
She
until I
can
got
be
it.
taken to the changing room council. Bring
Right?
her on the.
Maybe
bring
I'll
her on
bring
the
her.
pod. Bring her on the pod. Tell her I'm going to talk about you on my pod. That's what you
Yeah.
should have done.
Every week it's the same lady. So it's not as if I'm a new
Yeah.
face and I'm always in the same dungarees. So it's like, well, you must remember me in some capacity. But yeah, that was odd.
That's
And then-
really odd.
Yeah.
How strange.
And then, yeah, I think both me and Jim had some funny ones today, because we had, oh God, these 2 guys in the pool next to us who, not the pool next to us, they were in the lane with us, and they were just doing really, like, one of them was going and then the other one was trying to catch them, but they were doing it really, really fast. So obviously we were trying to stay out the way. And then Jim said to me, he goes, well, when they first got in, they actively asked me if they could go in front of me. But they don't know how quick Jim swims. Like, Jim is he's
Yeah.
a world champion. He's, very quick swimmer. Does crossings of channels, doing Gibraltar this year. Like, he's very, like, he is in the pool all day. Like, even before his work day started today, he did a 5K for his training, like, as you do. And then he's been in the pool for 3 hours. So then these guys asked to go in front of him, and then he is catching them up. So instead of overtaking him, he now just he was just tickling their feet. And then I was like, oh my God, a tickle of the foot. But, oh God, that's even worse than a slap. And then he did it to me as I was doing some of the drills. And I was like, ah! And I know it's Jim because it's just like, so that was interesting. And then came out of the pool, went for our usual donuts, and then something wrapped around my tyre. And I stop on the side of the road, put my hazards on, and then led on the pavement so I could get underneath my car to have a look. And these two women walked past, audibly, quite loud, and was like, what is that girl doing? Is she taking a selfie? I was like, in what world am I taking a selfie?
Look out for Becca Under Cars content coming soon.
It was just this, like, another thing today where I feel like people have underestimated me and just gone, oh no, of course, I'm a woman, so of course I have to just lie next to my car and wait for help to arrive.
I fainted from the overexertion of my brain because I couldn't even, once my car there was something wrong, and I just went, feeble woman, cannot lane swim. No.
Can't lane swim.
No, not the lanes. Don't get the lanes near me.
Honestly.
I think it's excellent, though, that you can turn around and see how, like, just rubbish all this stuff is. I was going to use the word preposterous, and I was like, that's not on brand for the pod. How preposterous all of these things that have happened to you are.
I know. And then I pulled in, and then I was like, right, well, we're going to figure this out. So I ended up getting it out, so that's fine. And then I literally said it to you. I was like, I am a strong, capable woman. Because I fixed the problem without any men, and those two women were not around to see it. But so yeah, I am feeling pumped, and I felt like my stroke was good in my swimming lesson. So even though it feels clunky, if anyone's, I mean, to be honest, we're all amongst friends at this point. You know, when you're breaking down a stroke, and then you feel like you're like, I feel like I have been swimming up until this point, but now I can't remember how to swim because my arms are all doing weird stuff. Am I kicking?
Yes.
Am I rotating? Is my head? And I'm like, I can't breathe. And like, you're thinking about so many things.
Yeah.
And going, I don't think this works. And Jim at the end of the lesson was like, yeah, looking good. I was like, don't feel it.
No. Like, you could start the lesson. I've had this before with like stroke analysis where I'm like, they start to give me a few things to think about, and I'm like, if I'm given more than like 2 things to think about on my stroke at any one time, I'm like, it's like I've forgotten how to swim. I'm there like, what am I doing? I actually haven't got a clue. So I have to very deliberately be like, I'm just going to focus on arm placement in the water. And then I start to think about, early vertical forearm or hellbows, high elbows. So I call them hellbows. I'm like, hellbows, push. Hellbows, push. Yeah.
Jim's got pocket of power.
Ooh.
Pocket of power. Ooh. And it's like, it's a good one.
I like that, actually.
Jim swims TM.
Not another name swims.
Yeah.
Well,
no, he's not. He's not on Instagram. I think he's on he's on Facebook, but he's got like 50 swimmers under him. It's insane. And he does he's a powerhouse. He's a blimmin' powerhouse in the Northeast now. So yeah, and also when he's in the pool with me or with anybody, everyone's always going, oh, do you coach, do you? And then he's like picking other people up when he's at the pool. So it's like perfect when you're in a public session. It's like, yeah. God, I think also my mood is so much better now the sun's out. It's great.
You don't realise how bad you feel until suddenly the sun's out and you're like, oh, life's good again.
Right. The sun's out. I mean, the sun's out. I've been outside and I've had a wash. You know, those things, tick, tick, tick.
Yeah. Simple pleasures, man. Work the best.
Yeah. They really do. I'm just hoping it sticks around for a bit. I was even talking to Jim today about potentially going for a sunrise swim tomorrow because it'll be bonkers tomorrow. once, because you want a little bit of cloud so that you can like have a bit of. But we'll see. We'll see. I might be riding a high and then it will all just go. But we'll find out.
Is it time?
It is time for the cold water hot take.
Cold water hot takes.
That was very tuneful.
Was it?
Water hot take.
All right. So, actually, yeah. Sorry, I was just having to read it to be like, what are we? Engage brain.
A bit like that today. A bit like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you understand. I don't have to do the words. You just
Exactly.
understand.
In fact, you know what? The best thing about a podcast is when people listen in and they just get it from the they just hear like, and they're like, wow, the insight. People, that's what people come to this. That's what people come to this podcast for. Woo.
All our noises.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, actually, at the moment, for Outdoor Swim magazine, coming in a couple of months, obviously pending me writing the damn thing, I'm doing an article all about the rise of swimming content creators, because it does feel, and I don't know if this is just because we are two chronically online people, it does feel like there's, I mean, as somebody as well who's also only started content creation in that sense in the last sort of year and a quarter, year and a half, there has been a massive rise in the number of people creating content online all about swimming. And, you know, I'm obviously curious to hear everyone else's thoughts, so write into the pod with your thoughts, as always. But I thought it would be generally interesting to have a little talk about what we do as content creators, and particularly because we put ourselves out online a fair bit. And there's a little bit of ourselves. Well, I say a little bit of ourselves. It's all about us. It's like, hey, let's make a whole profile. It is ours, and we tell stories about ourselves on a regular basis. Yeah,
Sure. Well,
you're the OG, aren't you? Really, you've been our elder content creator, the
elder, who's been doing it since 2018.
That's so long.
I know. I've been doing it for 8 years, which I don't think so. I think I started taking it seriously, which is going to sound mad, actually. But I think I started taking it seriously because I wanted to be. I'd seen the Outdoor Swimming Society did like AMBAT for these, and they took on like usually like 10 or so a year. And you got to go to all these amazing places and do amazing swims. And by that point, I was still like a baby creator, and I was like, oh, that looks amazing. So maybe I could just fake it and then see what happens. Because I think everybody starts it and just goes, I don't think I looked at it as a career at all. Like, I was just doing something, and it was of that age where Instagram was probably still quite new, because I had Instagram, but I was definitely one of those people who was just posting their food or posting their dog or posting that they were at uni trying to write a dissertation.
Landscape on holiday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And just using it as we used Facebook. It was like, you just post it up, say a little bit, done, not really thinking about where it's going. And then when I was getting into cold water, I was like, oh, well, actually, I've got a reason to post now. Like, I'm doing this really stupid thing. And I should try and dig out the video, because there's a video of one of my first swims, and you just look at it now and it's like being filmed on a potato. You're like, what on earth is this? Like, just pixelated. And back in the day, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to post my swims, see what's going on. But then you find other people are doing a similar thing to you, either in the UK or around the world. And it's almost like you tap into this community of people. And then it just becomes, oh, you're doing that. That's really cool. Or, I want to do that. And then you'd meet other people doing similar things. So, yeah, I think that's where mine started. But I in no way thought that I'd be thinking that this was a career. For me, when I started, I was still working in telly. I was still like getting in just for swimming's sake, not for posting it online or anything like that. Yeah. And I think that it does come into a bit of a fine balance of like, am I getting in for this swim for content, or am I getting in for swimming? And I try to do the same thing. I try and keep them together, because that's just the type of content I make. I think with content creation and the expanding nature of it, I mean, now going to your like For You page and your search page, mine is all blue now. It's like there's so many people doing it. There's so like, and the thing is, I love to see it, because it means there's going to be more people to give a shit about it. There's more people to care about this body of water we have, because you hear so much negative stuff about influencers, about social media. And to me, I think that's absolute poppycock, like absolute bull crap. Because if it wasn't for social media, I would not have the network. I would not have the people. I mean, we may never have met if it wasn't for social media.
Nope, I don't think so.
And like some of my best, like I think all of my best mates probably are from social media now. The people that I talk to on a regular basis. And you think all of these ways that we connect through something that we love. It's like, and everybody gets it. You don't have to explain it. It's like you're swimming with people from afar. It's like some of these people you just could just say, you could just say their handle and be like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Don't know their real name, but that's how we refer to them.
Oh yeah, I had 2 people come to me this morning when I was on my morning swim and say, oh my God, are you swimming Adele? But yeah, it's really interesting how that happens, because as you're sort of saying, there's like, you're able to make friends and build a community regardless of where you are, because especially like with social media, you can speak to people, like it's not just about location. It's not just about, oh, I happen to swim this time at this venue and therefore those are my friends. I mean, like it's the 9 a.m. crew at Clevedon Marine Lake. Those are my people. You can meet anyone who's doing outdoor swimming, and I feel like the community is the best thing about it, because that's the sort of direction I'm coming at this article from, is that, you know, there's a rise of them, because from my perspective as well, it's a really great thing. I think it really helps boost the accessibility of the sport. I've had, without tooting my own horn, like a number of people have said to me, like, I wouldn't have gotten into this had I not seen somebody with a body like yours or mine being able to then go and see them doing great things. Because there are so many stigmas for people about their own confidence in their own bodies in swimming, but also in their confidence in swimming outdoors. And so there's been like educational content online that actually helps people do it in a safe way, or know where is good to go and be able to see that, or meet people who they then go and swim with. I mean, obviously, I'm going to have to cover more in the article than just the good things. There are a number of other things as well. I mean, one thing that I've been looking into online, and like the existing articles every now and again, and particularly in the outdoor space, there is an article that pops up, oh, influencers are ruining our landscapes. Don't get me wrong, there are always people who act irresponsibly in the outdoors. You know, there's a pathway here, a clear don't walk off the pathway sign, and people are jumping over the fence. I've seen a video of that in Iceland recently, where people want the best view of the waterfalls and are jumping over a fence to get the best photos, or lots of litter being left behind. But it's not all influencers. Like every summer, I was saying this to you the other day, Becca, every summer I go to Clevedon Marine Lake, and I'll get there and I'll do a bit of filming really early in the morning, because it's light just about at that point, but there's still piles of litter left around the lake from where, you know, there's been people the day before, but those people aren't all influencers. So I feel like there's a lot attributed to influencers. Don't get me wrong, obviously some people are not in it for the right things, and I think it's quite easy to tell that. Or some people are very what's the right word? Some of them have become very out of touch. I don't know if, particularly on the YouTube scene, I've seen people doing interpretive dance as like an apology video. I know, like they did something wrong, or like it was actually something quite serious. I think they'd like verbally abused an ex-partner or something, and then they did like an apology video, but in interpretive dance and with like text over the top.
I know. But I think that's also the thing, isn't it? It's that influencer word. I think even because like we've both just said, we're content creators, because it's like even the word influencer makes everything just tense up in my body, because it's got such negative connotations. And when you think of, like, for instance, when you do like a first aid course, you always think of like this one person, and you draw all the things that that person's doing wrong, for instance, and be like, this is what, I don't know. I'm going to pick a name out of the hat, guys. This is no, it could be your name, but it doesn't matter. Let's call him Wayne. And Wayne likes to do X, Y, Z, and he goes to the outdoors and he doesn't rinse his kit after, and he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that. I think people who are chronically online like ourselves, there's this idea of what influencer is, and that's like that person that parks in front of farmer gates, tramples on stuff, creates new entry points with spades. That's one that actually happened in Wales at Keeper's Pond. Somebody actually took a spade and said, actually, I've created some steps to get in so it's easier. And it's like, you thought that it was your right to create steps into an outdoor space, then instead of trying to find somewhere else that was more accessible, you have created steps. Just no permission, nothing, just decided to do it and change a natural landscape. It's things like that where you just think...
Yeah. The people that go up to the seals and tickle them under the chin.
Don't start me again. Don't start me again. It'll happen. I mean, we're all just humaning, and effectively, there's going to be people that we'll say it's uneducated, but it's not uneducated. Some of these people are just lunatics who cannot be reasoned with. But at the same time, you think people online who are creating things, I'm assuming, give a shit about what they're doing. They give a shit about the space that they are in. So there'll be some level of educational content, whether that is, helping somebody with access or making sure that it's somewhere that has ample parking, that has ample resources to be able to get to, that it's not crossing over private land. And I mean, I get myself into a bit of hot water when it comes to like talking about reservoirs and access and things like that, because there is an element of, God, I wish everything was open and we could swim everywhere. But at the same time, I understand why there are limitations and why these things are in place at the same time. So
that's advocacy, isn't it? You're almost campaigning there. You're wanting to see it be better because you've got the education behind you, you've got the experience behind you to know what is safe and what isn't safe as well.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing as well. A lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, that rubbish. Yeah, that's influencers or whatever it is." Yeah. And you think, well, actually, a lot of people online now, or I would like to think, I hope we're talking into the echo chamber of people who also know these things. But I will repeat them just in case, of things of leave it better. So it doesn't matter about leaving no trace. Other people will leave trace. But why don't we leave it better? Why don't we pick up what we saw? And why don't we take an extra bag so that we can take rubbish away with us? Like there's so much that we can do as swimmers. Even it doesn't have to be a blame game. And I think I went into this a little bit when we were talking about wildlife the other week, but there is so much around. It's not about blame. It's not about who did it. It's just about helping the environment as a whole. And like even having conversations with local sea swimmers, not realising that ecosystems can be quite fragile, especially in inland water. They can be SSIs, places of specific scientific interest. And people just haven't even thought of that because they haven't been exposed to it because they're sea swimmers. So it's like, yeah, but if you take an organism from one inland waterway to another inland waterway, it could be invasive. It could bring in weed like you have in the Lake District. There's only, I don't even know whether it's pristine anymore, but there used to be just one pristine lake left in the Lake District because of this transfer. And it's not just us. It's not just swimmers. It's paddle boarders. It's dogs. There's so much an extra to think about when it comes to things like this and trying to be a responsible water user. And I think that's something that gets lost in translation. I know it's not sexy to talk about as a content creator. Be like, rinse your kit, guys. But I think if we're having those conversations, it's just good to just get it out there again. I know all of you people know it, but I'm just going to say it for the room. So I've said it.
Yeah. And if it's any consolation, Becca, if anyone can make good content about rinse your kit off, guys. But there is also like a vulnerability of putting, because I was going to say in a way we're selling ourselves, but it's obviously not that sort of content. But, you know, we're sharing our stories, and sometimes there's elements of that are sensitive to us that, you know, are not necessarily things that would just normally come up in conversation with people, but are important nevertheless to talk about. I mean, or even things that people feel are appropriate to say online that aren't necessarily appropriate to say in person. Like, I've had so many comments on my body, as I think many people who exist outdoors in the, you know, exist in the outdoor space and put their life online can attest to, particularly as a woman. Despite the fact I'm a UK average size, I regularly get told like, oh, well, you did that. You swam the English Channel, but you're not healthy because you're fat. And I'm like, what does it matter to you, stranger on the internet? You are not me. You're not somebody who loves me, who therefore is caring for my health or feeding me. And private chefs out there, come feed me. I love food, obviously, and health professionals. But what does it matter to random stranger on the internet with, you know, no face, maybe even a car
Oh God, the car accounts.
I know,
yeah,
it's the car accounts. Goodness,
it's always the car accounts. And I think that's a bit of the like darker side of it as well.
Yeah,
everyone talks about the lovely community side, but you're always going to get trolls, and and I think without going too far into it, it's like so much of what we put online, as you've said, is like sharing our lived experience and just saying it how it is. I know I share a lot about mine because when I was first diagnosed with PTSD, that was the first thing I did, because I was struggling with the diagnosis so much that I just didn't know what to do. So it was mental health awareness. I think it was like, God, this was years and years and years ago. And I remember going, do you know what? I'm just going to post it online, see what happens. And because I'm not really sure what to do with this, because you're kind of given that diagnosis and that's it. It's just like, yeah, you got PTSD, good luck. And I put it online and said I was having panic attacks and all of this. And the outpouring from people going, yeah, me too. Never met these people. And you're like, oh, yeah, me too. And you think, oh, well, I was judging myself for so long because I didn't know anybody with PTSD. And I thought, oh, God. And now I've got people that I can talk to that have got complex PTSD. Like, I've never met a CPTSD person in the flesh.
Yeah.
And then they all come out in the wild. So there's this element of putting yourself out there and really just shedding it all and just going. And there is that element that trolls do get, in the sense of you can put it online and it doesn't really feel real at the same time. You can go, this is a problem I have. I just need it out in the universe and it will make me feel better. And it's quite cathartic in that sense.
Yeah.
But in that way, because we live our lives so openly on social media, it gives that invitation of, if you put it online, then you should be able to take the trolls. Very similar to how a woman is made to feel on a daily basis. Oh, you've put your body on the internet? Well, I am going to comment on it because that's what you've done and it's your problem, not mine. And it's like, well, actually, guys.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, because I did a reel a couple of weeks ago announcing I'm going freelance and the reasons behind that. And I mentioned my mental health, and I was actually really nervous about that. I was really nervous about putting it out because I was like, I've had negative comments in the past about things like mental health, which, you know, is so weird and wild to think of today. You know, if people are vulnerable about mental health online, then suddenly you know, some people can be very unsympathetic to that. And honestly, the responses and the comments and the messages I had were so wonderful and were just so lovely. And I think it was the best side of the internet when I saw that. And I was very reassured, because whilst we do talk about trolls, whilst we do talk about the negatives, there is just so much more support, and it is just such an amazing way of finding your people. Like, When I moved to Bristol, I really struggled with meeting people because I was, head down at Clevedon Marine Lake for 4 to 6 hours on a weekend. Like, I actually didn't have, like, swimming the English Channel is a terrible way to make friends because you're swimming all the time. You don't move for swimming. You're up early, got to go for a swim, and you see everyone else on the boat or on the side having a lovely chat, and you're like, oh, I'd love to be doing that, but I've got to keep my head down and swim for another 2 hours. So I didn't make a lot of friends down in the southwest when I'd just left a really lovely community that I had in Cheshire, and now that I can say I've got loads of people in the southwest that I can speak to, that if I really wanted to, if I was like, yeah, let's go for a swim, that would be well up for it. And I think that's such a wonderful thing that, that just makes it for me.
I'm the same. I think a hot take, well, whole hot take is influencers. But I think it's like, if you don't like social media or you're not getting on with it, you're probably not engaging with the right things. Because a lot of people, like, look at that would be my one takeaway from social media. Ooh. That if people are looking, if they're finding it stressful online, or if they're finding that it's not the right sort of content, just think about what you're doom scrolling. Because even when you're like scrolling through things, if you're hesitating on something, if you're watching something, let's say that you engage with some news stories, let's say you engage with a fitness influencer, let's say you engage with, I don't know,
traffic,
something else,
car crashes. I see those all the time, and I have to keep telling my algorithm I'm not interested because I don't
get
them.
Any of that shit.
Yeah.
No. So it's like you have to be quite regimented. Even if you want, like, if you do want to doom scroll, I'd make a fake Instagram account. Just make a separate one, and that can be a doom scrolling account. That doesn't really matter what you see, and then you can leave it if you want to. When you have just creating a page that is your solace is something that is really powerful. If you've got friends on there that make you feel insecure, unfollow them, mute them, just do something about it. If you've got people that you like seeing, or say, for instance, we're talking about swimming, follow people in the niche that you want to see on your feed. Engage with, like, swimming people, watery bits. My whole page is full of wildlife encounters, usually bad ones. But, everything is water-based that I see. Like, if I see anything else, I have to go, right, no, that's for the other account. Because some things are like, I will get a couple of comedians come up, but I do want my page to be blue. I want everything I see to be blue. And it just really helps create that. The algorithm is going, oh, that's what you want to see. I'll show you more of that, shall I? Yes, please. I want to see that. I don't want to see any of this political, newsy stuff. Thank you very much.
Especially in a niche sport like ours, though, like ice championships. I don't see any of that on, like, mainstream media. And I've been able to see so much great stuff from it over winter. And, this summer when I see marathon swimmers going across the English Channel, I'm going to be able to actually interact with them and, cheer them on in the process, follow their little dot across the screen because I've been able to see it pop up as it's happening. Whereas, you don't see that in so many other places. We're so better connected because of social media. And I really want to keep it that really lovely place. So that's what, as content creators, we will do. Keep on pushing it to be a really lovely place where people are celebrated, for the hard work they're putting in and the amazing stories they have and the great things they've achieved. Yeah.
Basically, yes. All of that, please. Oh, God. I wasn't expecting that at all. No. That's hilarious.
I guess it's time for dilemmas.
Yep. It is.
Yes, for those of you listening, the wig is here.
Yep. Unexpectedly.
I need to upgrade it, though, to like a proper side thing. I don't know. You could tell also that it's a cheap wig.
Or, do you know what you could do? You could just, like, attach toilet rolls or something underneath.
Oh, that would be much easier.
Cheaper, sustainable, recycling, something like that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some sort of, like, YouTube video that'll have something about it. Who knows? Dilemmas. So today, this is one I reached out to someone about because they shared about it in their story, and I thought, ooh, this sounds like a dilemma. Ooh. So this is from friend of the pod, India Swims.
Love
In
India.
true,
Shout out India.
yeah, in true content creator fashion, full name India Swims. Now, she had a dilemma over the weekend that she shared on her stories and that she has given us permission to share. So she was asking her followers if they also get annoyed when swimmers who have done a relay of the English Channel refer to themselves as channel swimmers. Is it reasonable to be frustrated when it happens? Now, I've obviously, as an English Channel swimmer, who feels like they can refer to themselves.
Hang on. Relay or full?
How dare you? What? Becca, I'll let you go first on this one.
I mean, I can't relate at all. I mean, English Channel or relay, both equally mental, in my opinion. But there is a very big distinction between the two.
Maybe actually we need to explain that to people. What is the difference? Because some people won't know.
I suppose people don't realise, do they? Because you can do, I mean, toes in, and then you're in for the entire stretch of the crossing of the English Channel. And I mean, it can range between 11, 12 hours.
Some people go less than 10, but I think that's like, we're talking your record breakers there. For me, it was just over 15 hours.
Yeah.
The longest is Sophie Etheridge with about over 29 hours.
Yeah.
So, which is again immense. So, and relay swims, on the other hand, they also start with, you're standing on Shakespeare Beach and then you're walking in and then you're off. But with relay swims, you can have, 2, 4, 6. I don't know if you can do 8. I think you can probably do 8 swimmers. It might get a bit crowded on the boat mind. And you will be swimming 1 hour at a time. You can't touch each other when you cross over, but, you take turns. And, if we're talking that some channel swims are, 14, 15 hours for that. Some people will only swim 2 hours across the 33.3 kilometre distance. Some people might swim for 3 hours, but it will be separate 3 hours and then you're back on the boat. Now, that also has its own inherent risks. And I don't want to make it sound like relay swimming isn't also a challenge in its own right. I would hate to be on those boats. I can imagine it's really choppy, and usually relay swimmers get the worst conditions because they usually save the better conditions for the solo swimmers. So, I'm not saying it's not a challenge in its own right. And I really don't want to take away from the benefits of relay swim or the achievement that is for some people. Well, I've just basically said what my thought is, but Becca, do you want to go ahead?
But that's literally, I think that's it, isn't it? It's these people that do these incredible feats of 33 kilometres and going, I'm an English Channel swimmer because I've done all of this on my own. That's,
that
as
is
a
the
soloist,
of it, yeah.
That's the achievement. I mean, in my world, I suppose that's the equivalent of someone going, I did a 500 metre at Loch-Inch and I've done an ice mile. And I'd be like, excuse me?
Yep.
Excuse me?
Absolutely not.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, I think it's completely fine to feel a little outraged. But at the same time, the people doing I don't know. I don't know where the headspace is because I'm not a long distance swimmer. I'm very much like someone just wouldn't do that in winter swimming. They wouldn't claim that they've gone further than, I suppose that makes it sound bad as well, claiming that they've done that. But if you are in a relay of 8, if you are in a relay of 6 and you do an hour of swimming and then get out for a bit and then get in, and being able to label yourself as a English Channel crosser as well as somebody else saying that, I can see why you're annoyed because it's very different swims, so much more endurance, so much more, there's just more to it. And especially, the English Channel, it just baffles me still. People, I think also it's that people who aren't even swimmers know about the English Channel. So that's how much a bigger deal it is.
It's got that mystique, isn't it? It's like there's that draw to people. And I think that's why, because I was thinking about this, you don't get the same with the Bristol. I don't think I've ever seen a relay team. There has probably been a relay team going across the Bristol Channel, but I haven't really heard much of it. But there is something particular that draws people to the English Channel. The way I would almost think of it is am I technically a channel swimmer then if I just swam 2 hours in Dover Harbour? because you are technically swimming in the English Channel for that. But if you're swimming for 2 hours in loops in Dover Harbour, that does not make you an English Channel swimmer. Nor would, swimming loops that take you for 15 hours. That doesn't make you a channel swimmer either. It's the whole, you've got your feet on one side, you've got your feet on the other. But yeah, there is absolutely that like mystique of the English Channel and the history of it. And as I said, for some people, it's going to be the only way that they can do it and that they can get near it. And again, there are like relays have their own challenges involved, and it is very much a team sport. And there have been relay teams that have done some amazing things. So it's not to take away from those.
But
yeah.
I think it's not we're not debating that it's an incredible feat, whether it's relay or...
I guess it's whether or not it's a problem.
But I think the people that I know who have done a relay stipulate across, we've done a channel crossing, but we did it as a relay, or I did a relay channel crossing. That will be within the sentence that comes out of, because there's just, why would you say that you're an English channel? So like, I think you're completely within your right, India, to be annoyed at that.
Yes,
agreed. Is my take on that.
Agreed. Because I was thinking, like, there's other people who, I mean, it's not like unknown in the world. I think what I would want to stress here is that it's not a problem unless if they're trying to advertise something or promote something based on the idea of them being an English Channel swimmer. In particular, I think some examples I've seen of it in the past, people saying it on social media, which I think is fairly, whilst I disagree with maybe their claims, I certainly, I'm going to let them have their moment. That's fine. But when people are then using it to give them legitimacy on other claims, so in particular, if you're trying to give people advice based on the fact that you are a channel swimmer, this is what worked for me in the channel. This is, fair enough if you're caveating that you are in fact a relay swimmer, but respectfully, I did a relay around, Jersey the year before I did my English Channel swim, just to help me with the conditions and get used to things like jellyfish. Really enjoyed it, found a great holiday, loved Jersey, thought the swimming was great, but respectfully, completely different things. Completely. There is you can't talk to me about what feed to have at hour 7 because you don't know what it's like having salt mouth. If you're telling me you're eating Smarties, but if I eat Smarties in the middle of a long swim, it cuts my mouth open. It's so different. There is something different about that endurance that's needed and about the conditions and the impact on your body, rather than when you're then out of the water, dried off, and then getting back in.
It's basically like somebody who does the local park run trying to consult with somebody who wants to do a 100-mile trail run.
Yeah.
And that's the comparison, isn't it? Of going, oh yeah, I've done part of the spine, so I'm a spine finisher. So it's one of those. It's like, oh well, did you do the 216-mile all the way down, or did you do? Well, no, not 216. It's 260 something now. But
goodness,
I know. But it's that thing, isn't
Everest
it?
Base camp versus going up Everest, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many metaphors we could use it.
Exactly.
So I think, India, you're completely within your right. And
yes.
But also, what I would say is, don't have these conversations in the shadows. I'd say whoever it is saying something, or that you've seen online that has made you want to post about it on your stories. They may have just said it innocently and not really, not really thought about the ramifications or the things or the safety or all of that level of extra bit. So maybe confront that person as well. And I know that can be scary, but just messaging to go, have you really?
Yeah.
So, and they might be like, oh God, I didn't even think of that, which is usually the response you get. Because when we come back to things like influencers and what we've been talking about so far, some people can innocently not think about it, have a throwaway comment and not just, it's online, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my take on the dilemma. Yes, you're allowed to be annoyed, but maybe confront them too.
Yeah.
Teach them something.
Exactly. Because my attitude so far when I've seen it online, because it does happen every summer, when you start seeing some relays going across and, there's celebrations, the thing is, when it comes to the celebration, I'm like, I'll let them have their moment. But yes, it's when they're making claims and on other things to back other things up. When it's a problem, I would say that I'm then like, yeah, no, let's
yeah, absolutely.
be polite and have a conversation.
Yeah, and that's all we need. I think we become better as a community if we all support each other, and they don't understand. Like so many, like, oh god, get me started on waterfall season. No, that's my Everest that I'm willing to die on. It's like people getting into river water that is in spate, standing at the bottom of a waterfall, rushing over the top, but standing nearby and being like, I'm in a swimming costume, this is great. And you see a lot of that online. You do not know what's coming over the top of that waterfall. There could be debris in it, especially after a storm. There can be so many issues around that. And the more we see that online, it's normalised. And you see it every time. And people go, no, but I wasn't standing anywhere near it. Do you know the force of some of these waterfalls that has that ability to pull you in? The next thing you are underneath, and that's it. And that's got a similar vibe of, when I see those online, I have to say it now. Because if I'm that person that is waiting in the shadows, I'm no better, because I'm not giving that information. I'm not educating. And it's up to the other person if they want to take it. The amount of people that go, oh, have a day off. And I'm like, yeah, all right. I was annoyed about it, and by talking about it in the back of the scenes, no one's learning anything.
Yeah.
So I often put my little lifeguard hat on and go, do you know? So it's a bit of that as well. We're all learning. We're all doing the thing together.
Exactly. Because it might seem like common sense to us, but certainly, like, the RNLI have to still be telling people every year, float to survive. And again, I feel like, because on the back of the content creators discussion, like, sometimes as people with followings, we feel like we've got a duty to remind people, okay, remember to be safe, remember to be, alive at the end of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I put a video up the other week of me and Dara Morgan jumping off of Blackrock Tower in Galway in Ireland. And a guy had commented on it saying, oh, wait till you do it in winter. And I was holding back everything to be like, don't post that publicly on my page. Like, are you joking? Don't do it. That sounds like a challenge. And so much of me was like, are you mad? Like, cold water shock, like, what's underneath? All of these extra bits. But instead of putting my instant response, I was like, I'm going to take a beat. And then I'm going to go, I'm sure you know. And I'm sure you are a well-seasoned swimmer, so that I don't have to tell you that you should probably get in first if it's in winter, see if it's all right, acclimatise to the, and it's still going to, if you do that in winter, it is going to feel like you have been slapped by 100 fists, because that water impact is going to be so much worse than you think it's going to be. And the shock, and what?
I mean, even you doing it a few weeks ago, I don't think I could do that. I'm a slow entry swimmer.
Oh no, but like, I'd already been in. So
yeah.
I'd already been in the water before I'd done that.
Yeah. But even then, I still think, like, it's still been 10 degrees here. Hopefully, after this sun, it will have warmed up a little bit.
It's still 7 up here, mate.
Literally, I'd be like, oh.
They're going to be quick dips in the next couple of weeks.
You'll be like, Adele, get in the water for content. And I'll be like, I'm in, let me get out.
I'm in. It was Peter Kay, wasn't it, with the rich teas, like lightning.
I think we are ready. Ka-chow. I don't usually do this one.
You've even hair netted. I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And we have confessions.
Yes, let me find it.
No. Yes, this is confessions. Goodness. Shed your sins. Yours in particular. You listening to this right now. Shed your sins to the watery abyss, and all, dear listener, shall be forgiven. Because this is the part of the pod where you send us your confessions to commit to the abyss and free you of judgment and any watery guilt. We've both been asking people for confessions. So we have, I think, a bounty.
We have a bounty of confessions. Yeah. Okay, so we've had one in. I thought I was farting and actually shit myself mid tough swim session, and I had to then run. Which I have actually had to ask follow-up questions because I was like, I need to know, is this in a pool? Like, how old
Yeah.
were you? All that sort of stuff. She was 20 and it was in an open water swimming venue, but she was not an hour and a half. She was 1.5 kilometres away from the nearest toilet. So, but as she said, she thought it was a fart. It wasn't her fault. But I can imagine the absolute dread. I didn't go into whether she was wearing a wetsuit or not, but
That's
we
true.
will commit that. We will commit it to
That
the
will be
abyss for you,
committed.
my darling.
And I mean, to be fair, after that, any tough swim session feels good because you come out and you go, well, I didn't shit myself.
There you
Can't be that bad. You didn't shit yourself. So,
Yeah. There you go. And another quick one I've got, which is just going to be committed. I get the ick when I see a man do breaststroke, and I know I shouldn't say it, but it does. And I can't say anything because my partner's a breaststroke swimmer, but I don't get the ick when he does it. But
no.
each to their own.
Yes,
Each
it
to their own.
goes. Because I had a few, and one of them was just, I piss in the pool.
I mean,
Get
always.
in line. Get in line. What is this, amateur hour?
Yeah, how many? I mean, we should do that at the start every time. Going, how many messages have we had about peeing in the pool? I've had 3 about pooing. We're just not going
See,
there.
I haven't had many about pooing. Another person trained myself to pee in open water so I could swim non-stop by peeing in the pool. That just sounds like efficiency to me. Don't see a
Right?
problem with
I
that.
can't. I have to stop. I can't.
Oh yeah,
can't
when I'm doing a
move.
feed, I have to sort of do like a weird, like a bit of a breaststroke, and then I'm focusing. So you'll be able to tell, Becca, when you're watching my.
Oh, that's
series,
content.
You'll be like,
That's content.
yeah,
What are you doing, Adele? What are you doing? We all know what you're doing.
yeah. Oh, somebody has said as well that a fart is not as conspicuous in the pool as in the lake. Learned the hard way at the weekend. So to be fair, if you are used to bodily functions in water, it's really difficult to train your body to then stop in a different body of water. When I get in the ice bath, every time I get the sensation to pee. Every time, and I'm like, I've got to get out now and pop to the toilet because I don't. It's like peeing in the bath, but outside. It's weird. But yes, no, lots like that. Yep, lots of peeing, more peeing. Somebody else. I love to
The
swim.
scroll says it all.
Yeah, just scroll, peeing. This
Maybe
person
swimming
said,
continents.
yeah, swimming. I love to swim in the lake when it's windy and there's a thunderstorm because no one else is there. And you know what? As somebody who, like, I swim in an outdoor pool and it's this time of year, it's getting busy. It has been really quiet over winter when I have to wear my Crocs outside to walk outside because they put the grit down because it's so icy. When, you know, you've got a breaststroker who, you know, in the summer would be there for a good half an hour. They're in for 5 minutes because they're not going fast enough to, like, be warm. That's my peak. That is the...
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think that one. I think that one's that bad. It's all right to have preferences, and I think particularly when you've just got long sessions to do, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because this person is a long distance swimmer who sent that one in.
Well, okay,
I mean,
guys.
none of them are. They're all going to pale in comparison to this one.
So honestly, when I won't say her name, but what I mean, I don't think it's bad. It's completely left field and something that I would never
It
anticipate.
happened to them. It's not something they did, so it's not.
Yeah, it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
And I had a prelude of a little text of what it was, but I'm not going to tell you what that was because I was like, I need full explanation of this, please. So she then sent me the full story, and here it is. Dear listener. We just finished a freezing night swim and huddled on the beach around one of those little fire buckets, doing our best to thaw out. Changing robes zipped up, hands wrapped round mugs, that lovely post-swim glow slowly returning. Then 3, let's call them characters, wandered over from the darkness. Right, I should say at this point that this is in Scotland. They'd very clearly enjoyed a heavy tipple, the kind where the words arrive slightly before their balance. One of them asks, "You mind if we throw something in the fire?" We assumed they meant a bit of paper, maybe a napkin. Oh, how wrong we were. Before we could even answer, the man in the group stepped forward and lobbed something solid straight into the flames. It hit the bucket with a heavy clunk. We all looked at each other, then looked at the fire, and there, sitting in the middle of the flames, was a jar, flowers and all. It was a jar of ashes. The man nodded solemnly at the fire and said, "Bye, Mum." His sister added something along the lines of, "Irene was a nightmare anyway," in some very colourful Scottish language. At this point, I genuinely didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and then the heat built up. So it does get worse. Pop! The jar explodes. Poor Irene scattered into the air and all over the lot of us. Changing robes, hats, mugs, the lot. The trio, seemingly satisfied with the send-off, wandered away into the night, leaving Irene behind with a group of stunned swimmers. But then, obviously, to make a tense situation worse, I burst out singing "Come on, Irene," to which laughter erupts. Apparently the tide was out and they couldn't be bothered walking all the way to the water. So now, somewhere within the fibres of several very well-travelled changing robes, Irene continues her adventures, probably really annoyed that I made a joke about her second cremation. If she's still hanging around, could someone maybe ask her politely to move along, or at least forgive me for the "Come on, Irene" singing? So basically, we are asking Irene, if you are finished with this person's adventures, could you please pass on through the watery abyss? Because she's still pretty convinced that you're in her changing robe.
Yeah, imagine having a haunted changing robe, because you've got to, if you're asking someone to move on, they've obviously started something since
Right?
then. Goodness.
If you could move along, please. I mean, this is also very, I mean, she's also sent another Ashes story in. I think there's also another, you know, when we were talking about incontinence, we've also got another area. Because I've got a story, not about me personally, but a friend of mine was swimming around the end of Clevedon Pier and passed like, oh, a flower, oh, another flower, and then ashes to the face. You'd think that there would have been a sign or something, but I don't suppose you
look over the edge. Oh, I'm just going to drop things. Oh,
yeah,
better just, oops, just
yeah. So
dumped Grandad on someone's
right,
head.
yeah. But could you imagine somebody just stumbling on? You've just got out from a swim. Somebody throws an urn onto your campfire.
I was also, did the glass not go everywhere? Because when I first heard this, I thought, what's surely like, I mean, because in my mind, if the glass jar is popping, I'm imagining everyone getting cut. Like,
I was thinking that it was because, you know, on
the lid.
urns, they've got like those weird, like, I don't know how to explain it, like biscuit tin lids. And I imagined it popped off with the pressure, and that's how it like plumed.
Okay. That would make more sense rather than just, oh, hey, here's a glass jar that's exploded over all these people. Because then that's, I was going to say, maybe we need justice we need justice.
For Irene.
Yeah, goodness. No, that makes more sense. So I'm less worried about their safety now, but yes, that's.
But still, like, just the fact that yeah, I don't know what you'd expect and be like, can you throw something on the fire? I will always have follow-up questions now. What is it? If it is a cremated mother, no. No, just wait a little bit until the tides come in a bit more. Jeez.
Yes. Wow.
Or just scatter her on the beach, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They obviously had a vendetta against Irene. Poor Irene. Yeah. Maybe she was just misunderstood.
Maybe. We'll never know.
Who knows?
So yeah, I don't think I mean, that is a gauntlet now to see whether any confessions get.
You got anything worse? Let us know.
But Irene's been committed to the abyss. Be gone out of that changing robe. Your adventures end there with this particular swimmer.
Yes.
Off you go.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And the shame of singing "Come on, Irene" after it has gone too.
Well, the shame of Irene having kids that will throw her on a fire twice.
God, what a time to be alive.
Goodness, what, peeing in the pool? But born too early for pools that people don't pee in, born too late for people not throwing ash. No, that's shit.
Well, on that note, that concludes episode 8.
Yes. Oh my God. I think we should probably tell people as well there's only 2 more episodes of this series. Because we are going to have to make it a series because we are we need, it takes a lot of time to make a pod, and I think I really enjoyed it so far. I really love that we're building our friendship, and it's almost like a record to that, which is really sweet, I think. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
because
really
we were saying
enjoying
the
it.
other day, it was like we've actually met only twice in real life. Once
Yeah.
when we met, and then second to be tits at Clevedon Marine Lake for a bit and go and have lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. And we are very seriously looking for sponsors. So if you know somebody who you're like, yes, please, because I mean, that will help us make a second series happen. That will
Oh, yeah.
help us, share the pod far and wide. Or if there's anything else you think would be really good for us to get involved in, I'm all ears, as always. And also, please like us and like us on YouTube, subscribe,
the good
rate
stuff.
us 5 stars on the Spotify's. I think we've got 8 5-star ratings, which makes
Stop.
I know, darlings.
Stop it.
So thank you very much. We do appreciate all your contributions, as always, too.
See you
And
next
follow us
week.
on the socials.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the socials?
Yeah,
That
the
thing. Yeah,
socials.
fine. The
Yeah.
socials.
The socials.
Well, enjoy your swim if that's where you're going, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week. Bye.